All right, welcome back to my channel. Good evening, my brothers and sisters. My name is Ivan. Before I begin the first episode of my mini-series entitled Walking with Purpose, I'm including this disclaimer. By no means am I a professional. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychiatrist. In the event that you feel that you need to reach out to someone, I highly encourage that you do. Reach out to a friend, family, loved one, a counselor, psychiatrist, someone. But reach out to someone. I highly encourage that you do that. This first episode I'm entitling it Love. And it's part of my mini-series, again, Walking with Purpose. So, we are approaching Valentine's Day. For many, Valentine's Day symbolizes what we all know as love. But what is love? Love is many things. Love can be a strength. It can be a weakness. It can also make you feel alive. It can also give you courage. But the reality is love can also be sacrifice, and love can hurt. We don't really understand the meaning of love, and Hollywood seems to glorify all these things about love and makes it seem really easy when you have to really work on it. And I wanted to share that with you today because I know that there's a lot of you that feel alone during this time, and Valentine's Day is just one of those days. I'll start with this. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not selfish, seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. No, preserves. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass. Pretty important message there. What does that mean? Well, in my experience, love, there's so many levels of love. You know, there's love for your family, your friends. There's love for a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. And there's also love for your children. I don't know what that's like. I've never been a parent to love a child. I've loved children. I love my nephews and my nieces. But I've never been blessed to sire any children of my own. I've been in relationships where children were involved, and it was very hard. There was a lot of sacrifices. There was a lot of resources that were involved to show my love. But it's not the same because I don't know what it's like to be a parent. And it's one of those things that people take for granted and don't really work on it. And love is an action, believe it or not. It's not a feeling, it's an action. And this whole notion as we the people, it doesn't work that way, because we are individuals. We have different mindsets, we have different core values, we have different paradigms, we see things differently. And for us to be we, it starts with us. ourselves. It starts with you. What is it about you and all of your experiences in life? What is it about you that makes you? Until we figure that out, then maybe we have a chance at love. Many times we think that if we do A, B, and C, we'll get the result. But with love, it's a little bit more complicated than that. There's different levels. There's patience. You have to be patient. You just can't rush into telling somebody that you love them and they automatically think, wow, this person is in love with me. There's also sacrifice, and there's a time and there's a season for that. You just don't rush into things. And the way we speak is not the same anymore. I was talking to my brother and just thinking, how and where did they come up with the idea of calling a smartphone an iPhone? And this was just a play with words, and I think my brother meant well. He said, well, I think they call it an iPhone because you're constantly looking at your phone. I know he was being sarcastic, but at the same time it made me think, wow, he's got a point there. We really don't use phones to talk to anyone anymore. We're constantly looking at our phones. And I think that's where a lot of things are being lost in translation. We're not taking the time and moment to really get to know someone, to really, really understand them inside and out. And I think that's where we all struggle. And my name is Ivan. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ, and I struggle with love. It's amazing to share that with you today, because I think a lot of us are afraid if we share that belief of our mindset, our core values, that people will run away. And I don't want to live in that fear. Right now we are living in challenging times, and what got me started in this idea of walking with purpose is I was walking in the morning, during my lunch break, in the evening, and I was working on myself, trying to be healthier, trying to lose weight. And this all came about with an event in my life that happened last year in July that changed everything. And at that moment, I realized that I needed to wake up, because I had been asleep for way too long. And it was an eye-opener. And I knew that it was going to be a tough road for me to get on and to continue to travel on, because whenever we start working on ourselves, that's when people start to think that we are selfish. And to understand each other better, we have to understand this, is we are not we see things differently. We don't know what kind of hurts, we don't know what kind of struggles we're dealing with. And I'm just living testimony that love can be a weakness or it can be a strength, but it definitely does conquer all. And hopefully in this series I will find the wisdom to continue this journey, to continue the mini-series, and to be sharing with you my experiences with my daily struggle as I walk in this path, walking with purpose. One of the things that I observed while walking, I walked through the university right here in Denton, around UNT campus, but I walk in an area where there's not many people walking around. And the few people that are walking around, they're mostly students, and they all have their mask on. When I'm doing my evening walk, that's when I see the most students around campus. I'm not wearing a mask, but at the same time, I'm walking away from them, you know, as because I'm being courteous, I'm being respectful, I'm I'm keeping my space. I'm distant, I distance myself from them. It's just so that they feel that I don't think any less of them because I do care about them. And fear is one of those things that it's growing in all of us. And honestly, when I see somebody not wearing a mask, I automatically demonize them in my mind and think they are the bad guy. And really, the way we know how this virus is spread is when people are coughing, sneezing, and that's when we have to worry. Now, if I'm not talking, I'm not coughing or any of that, I'm just walking, minding my own business, staying away from people. I'm not touching anything, I'm not sneezing on anything, I'm not coughing on anything. They should not worry. But because we're hooked on that phone, like my brother said, the iPhone, we're constantly looking at that phone. Information is at the tip of our hand, the touch of our finger, just touching the screen of our phone and reading all this information, this news that's so twisted, and it's a pandemic of its own with all these lies, these fears, that it's no longer about love. It's quite the opposite. It's fear. And I think if we take the time to just slow down and not be in such a hurry, and we take that opportunity to actually get to know each other, just maybe, we can be we again, and we could be the children that we were growing up, playing with all the other kids, where there was no color divide, no race divide, no politics involved. We just played and had fun and we laughed and we were able to be like kids. And I think that day will come when we are reunited with our Heavenly Father. But it starts with love. And the most important thing of all is to love yourself. If we are unable to love ourselves, we're not able to love anyone else. And with that, I shall end this episode. And take care, guys. I hope you have a nice evening. Stay tuned for my next episode where I will talk about relationships and family.